Greetings for the day, students. In last lecture, we made a discussion about the organizational process for innovation management, how we can have innovation and how to manage the innovation within the firm. At the same time, we have tried to understand that even how innovation is not the different entity, or we can say the factor, or we can say the process that has to be managed, that has to be looked after at the different process, but it is a part of the organization, it is the part of the organizational strategy and the planning which are making, and accordingly it has to have the same emphasis which we are giving to the different procedures and the processes that we are happening, that we are doing within the firm. So innovation has to be considered as the same process that we should do, and the same importance has to be given to the innovation, the same chances and the resources has to be allocated to the innovations, even so that we can have the competitive advantage, and that competitive advantage lead to more amount of market share. More amount of market share lead to more amount of profitability, and more profitability lead to more expansion and growth for the business that we are dealing with. So in today's session we will make a discussion about how we can manage the innovation within the firm. There are two different strategies. At the same time, we can say two different theories, which helps us to understand how we can manage the innovation those are happening within the firm. So first of all, we will see how the managing innovation within the firm and what it is. So the organizational innovation is a complex and a risky process, and managers dealing with the innovation management have to be aware of the degree of complexity that process do have. While innovations are happening outside of the organization and they are doing by the freelancers or someone else, then it is not a headache for us as a company to deal with it. Whatsoever the newness that has been brought on up by the individual or by someone else, we just need to imitate, we just need to adapt, and we just need to have the ready production material, or we can say the methodology to be adopted. But when we are doing the innovation, when we are giving the chance to the innovation to be happen within the firm, at the same time the regular processes are happening and synchronized in a well manner, we need to give the time and resources to the innovation, which is not the full fruit one, or we can say which is not the conclusive one, that it will be commercialized, it will give us a profitable situation. We are just making the trials and errors. So definitely many of the business owners don't want to have these trials and errors to be happen within the company, because they don't want to take any risk, they don't want to take any chance. But the companies who wants to take this kind of a chances, who wants to have the futuristic progress, who wants to have the more profitability in future, they definitely look after to have innovations within the firm. So at the same time, they need to understand that even whether they are working and they are looking forward to the wonderful profit which is associated with the innovation, if it will be succeeded, then definitely you will have more amount of profit, exponential profit, that we can say, with the help of innovation that has happened within the firm. But it is complex in nature even. So we need to understand, we need to have the preparations for to deal with the complexity which is associated with the innovations to be happen, and with the innovations to be happening within the firm and the management in the firm. So yes, it is a complex, at the same time it is a profit making and profit earning even. So we need to identify till what extent the innovation is complex, and how we can have the solutions to minimize and to decrease the degree of complexity that is coming with the innovation, that is coming with the chances of innovation that we are giving, that we are allocating the resources in the firm, so that can be manageable by the company. As there has been lack of clarity and the agreement among the innovation managers on the strategies and the action for ensuring organizational capability, a bunch of normative theories prescribe different set of rules and techniques to increase the organizational innovation. There are so many theories, there are so many propagandas, there are so many agendas which are already called by the different theorists and different business owners, that how to innovate and how to make innovation to be happen. But we won't talk about the each and every theory, we are not unable to that even, but two majorly adopted theories that we will make a discussion, and those are the organizational capability approach, and the second one is transformational leadership in a more adorable way, elaborated way. So that is what the two theories that we will make a discussion, and these are the theories which will help us to understand how we can manage the innovation within the firm. So though there are many set of propositions on how to manage the organizational innovation, including community of creation model, new knowledge management theories, and so on. And this paper and this particular slide will discuss two prominent approaches to the organizational innovation management. And those are the organizational capability approach and the transformation leadership in a more elaborated way. So we will talk about the first one, that is organizational capability and innovation performance. Before we move forward, before we talk about the how to increase the organizational capability, we just need to try to understand what is the word capability means. See, capability, that means what sort of a distinctiveness, what sort of a strength you do have, and accordingly how you can have the competitive gain in the competition, in the competitive world, and that's how you can win the battle between the competitors of your, between the market which is you are dealing with. So accordingly you need to have the undue advantage, you need to have the uniqueness, and that uniqueness has to be nurtured, that uniqueness has to be catered in a very best manner, so that your product, your services get the more and major of attractions, and customer will definitely buy your product in the maximum quantity. So that is what we need to talk about. The capability, can be in any terms. It can be in terms of having the wonderful skilled worker, it can be having the wonderful location of providing the products and services, it can be in the number of having the innovators, or we can say the inventions which we are happening and doing. It can be in terms of having the more amount of finance and the financial stability. So the organization needs to talk about the organizational capability, it has to be developed, and then definitely with the help of organizational capability we can have the innovation performance, and that can be leading towards the better innovation performance. So before moving forward, we will just see the video which will help you to understand what the capability on organizational capability means. Here it is.
At Strategy & we believe that value is created through what a company does, its capabilities, rather than what it has or sells. Only when you identify what you are great at and how this greatness matches with market needs do you have a value-creating strategy. Let's discuss what we actually mean by a capability. A capability is a combination of processes, tools and systems, knowledge, skills and behaviors, and organization that allows a company to deliver a specified outcome. This means capabilities are messy, complicated combinations of many factors. Companies may have hundreds of capabilities, such as the capability to invoice customers, the capability to procure office stationery, the capability to pay employees, and so on. But there are only a handful of capabilities that are truly essential for their business success, and at which they need to be better than anyone else. This is what we call the differentiating capabilities. For these differentiating capabilities to develop their full potential, they need to work together in a system. However, for now we'll focus on what an individual capability looks like in practice when successful. Let's take a look at the famous chips and snack brand Frito-Lay and its direct store delivery capability. Direct store delivery is a method of delivering products from a supplier directly to a retail store without going through a retailer's distribution center. DSD is not considered a highly differentiated capability today for everyone. Many consumer packaged goods companies use it. But Frito-Lay has managed to maintain a clear advantage in getting the right product to the right place at the right time. How do they do this? The processes that give it this capability include the structuring of drivers' jobs, how many and what stores they go to strike a balance between driving time, in-store time and truck utilization. But what really distinguishes Frito-Lay's DSD processes is their high degree of standardization and end-to-end integration, with zero tolerance for any features that may compromise frontline focus or executional excellence. Every salesperson knows exactly what is required of them and what process they are required to follow on every visit. It's this execution framework that turns Frito-Lay's DSD force into a well-oiled machine. Tools and systems adds to this capability. Frito-Lay are said to have invented the handheld computer to enable its DSD capability. Each salesperson is equipped with a device that has become an indispensable tool and information source. It walks the salesperson through his or her pitch in real time, suggests a highly accurate order based on previous orders and actual store inventory levels, and updates the salesperson's performance versus quota before and after each call. The handheld computer also supports micro-marketing and helps the salesperson develop tailored solutions for individual stores. Meanwhile, Frito-Lay's knowledge, skills and behaviors that support this capability include the way drivers are able to build relations with store owners, identify and secure incremental shelf space in key areas of the store, and build promotional displays. In addition, frontline regional managers behave like owners and feel empowered to make local decisions to win the competitive battle on a store-by-store level. Then there's the organization of Frito-Lay. It combines sales, driving, delivering and merchandising into drivers' jobs. It operates their fleet of 15,000 trucks that visit 400,000 customers across the US. The organization has few layers and highly decentralized decision rights in order to maximize effective responsiveness to competitive and customer dynamics at a regional and local level. Also, the incentive plan of the DSD force is closely linked with the sales of products at the stores. In summary, this specific direct store delivery capability helps make Frito-Lay one of the best performing globally distributed snack food companies in the world. So you can see why this capability matters. And to repeat the key message, a capability is a combination of processes, tools and systems, knowledge, skills and behaviors, and organization that allows a company to deliver a specified outcome.
So in the video, you have seen that how to develop the differentiated, or because the distinctive nature of working and the strategy formulation has to be made so that we can have the maximum advantage from the competitors in the competitive world, and that's how our product and services can be highly admirable, and we can reach to the maximum number of customer without having more number of problems and the hurdles to be faced with, and accordingly we can have the more amount of benefit, more amount of profitability. At the same time, only the profitability and the more amount of sales and market, it is not the only key, or it is not the only objective, but at the same time our business has to be survival, and our business has to be sustained for the long period of time. That is also the key objective of what we are seeking of and what we are oriented towards. So organizational capability approach employed by the managers is the mostly known approach to in innovation management. It suggests that product innovation in the long run is better managed by the nurturing and enhancing the capabilities of firm as innovation engine. What it suggests us that product innovation in long run is better managed by what? If we want to have the better chances to be given to the innovation in long run in future, then in today, in nowadays, we need to nurture and enhance the capabilities of firm as innovation engine. So whatsoever the preparation we are making today for better tomorrow, that definitely helps us to have the innovative company, that makes us innovative company, and that's how we can lead our what we can say the efforts towards the right thing, or we can say towards the right direction of understanding and catering the innovation in the company. At the same time, it advocates that superior business performance of the firm depends on the large scale investment in the innovation capability instead of investing in the creation of physical asset. We don't need to bring the machines, we don't need to have the machines, and the machines cannot solve each and every problem. The problems which are coming in future, the contingencies we need to deal with in future, that has to be resolved by the innovation that has been resolved, that can be resolved with the help of newness which we are bringing. And accordingly, the physical assets always won't help us to deal with the contingencies. Physical asset won't help us to have the new product development. The new product development usually comes from the creation and the creativity of an individual who are having with you, who has got the chance to deal with the new experiments and who has done the experiments within the firm, and that will definitely come, and that will definitely create a new product in future, and that will create the chance for you to deal with the contingent situation in the future. So definitely to inculcate and to have to harvest the seeds for the what we can say to have the create the better future for tomorrow, then definitely we need to harvest the roots, and we need to have the wonderful individual who can work for us for the long period of time. And with the creativity and with the innovation, if they are having the chance, they are given the chance with the resources and the money which we do have, then definitely the better future can be created, and we can have the more amount of chances to deal with the competition. So the stronger the innovation capability possessed by a firm, the more effective will be their innovation performance. So we need to create and develop the capability. It is not a one night game, or a one night show with the help of the lower investment, or we can say the one single day it can be created, it can be developed. We need to have lot and lots more preparations to be made, and the preparations are, we need to cultivate the things, we need to cultivate an individual from the beginning, from the very first day, and that's how we can have the better performance in the future even, and that's how we can expect the better performance in the future even. So that is what the key, that is what the deal that we need to make with the innovation, that we need to make with the organization of the innovation. So definitely we need to have the wonderful kind of a investment into having the innovation, or we can say that we need to give the chance to the innovation to happen, not only looking forward towards the expansion in terms of having the machines and new technology to be adapted. Definitely the machines and technology needs to be adapted, whatsoever the new change which are happening in terms of technology transformation, that has to be welcomed. But at the same time, the chances should be given to the experiments, the chances should be given to the newness which have been brought on by the any individual any individual who are working with the company, any foreman, any worker, any manager who wants to trial and error something which is new for the firm, which can be created in the new different ways, or the new processes has been invented by them. So that's how we can manage the innovation within the firm. Here we will make a discussion about the 7 elements of organizational capability through which we can have the more amount of capability to be generated. We can have more amount of chances in the competitive world, and that's how we can fight and we can deal with the innovations, continuous innovation which has been created and which are made by the different competitors of us. So we'll make a discussion about the 7 elements that will help us to organize and that will help us to arrange, or we can say manage the innovation within the firm. The first theory that will be enabling us to have the innovation within the firm. So the first one among the 7 elements of organizational capability, or the creation of the organizational capability, is we need to have the wonderful vision and strategy. Basically, before starting or before going for the any of the individual action to be happen within the firm, or we can say commercializing the process of offering the product and offering the services to the market at large, we need to have a focus on the goal, or we can say the objective through for which we all are working. So we need to identify for what particular reason the company has been established, for what particular goal we want to achieve by having this institution, and that's how our efforts has to be lead towards the achievement of the objective, achievement of the goal which has been set by the company. So we need to develop and we need to design the objective. Objective helps us to design the vision and mission. Vision and mission are two different terminologies. They are both are different in nature, that helps to identify the path through which, or with the help of which, we will achieve the objective of our. So once objective, the final destination of the company, where it wants to reach and where it wants to go, that has been decided, we need to create the vision and mission. Now, vision and mission are the inputs for the individual who are making the strategy, who are taking the decision. So definitely, whatsoever the strategy you make, that has to be oriented towards the achievement of the objective, and that has to be in the line and synchronization with vision and mission. Let me give an example. My goal, my company's goal and objective is we want to be the number one in terms of having the maximum market share. This is my objective. Now my vision will be, I will be number one by involving all the stakeholders on the profitable way with the profitable way by providing the best suitable product which is helping the society to develop, uplift and upgrade. This is my vision. So whatsoever the strategy I will frame, that has to be oriented towards upliftment, upgradation of the social life, culture, value and the lifestyle. And my mission is I will be number one by inculcating maximum number of product offerings, maximum states to be covered, maximum market share to be covered, and that's how I will achieve my objective. So that is how the vision and mission are different. Vision is what? The pathway through which you will reach your destination. And mission is what? How and with what sort of a medium you will clear and you will just create the journey on the pathway which you have created. And that's how we will reach to the ultimate goal of your which you have created. So strategies are, they are actions to be taken care with the help of objective and by looking at the vision and mission of the company. So strategy formulation has to be based on the vision and the mission which you have stated. Accordingly, it creates and converts into the strategic objective, and then the action has to be come into the consideration. And that is how you can develop the organizational capability of innovations to be managed within the firm. Sorry. Second point is we need to harness the competency base. Definitely, we need to develop, we need to make the competency to be created, and competency is what? The differentiation, the newness which we are bringing, which we are trying to inculcate in each and every individual of the company, and that has to be developed, that has to be harnessed by the different variations, or we can say the different adoption which we are bringing day to day, different capabilities that has to be developed in a continuous basis and the progressive basis, and that's how we can create the hurdle for the competitors to match with the competency of our, and that's how we can be the number one in the market. So that is how whatsoever the competency, the newness which we are bringing, which we are doing, which we are developing in terms of having the better product and the better product offering, we need to have and we need to harness the competency of our, and that's how. If the base is so strong, if the base is created in a wonderful manner, then definitely the entire building, the entire story, the entire journey will be so smooth and easy for us to have the new innovations to be managed, new innovations to be happen within the firm, within the organization. The next one is organizational intelligence. So organizational intelligence is nothing but we each and every individual who are associated by any means to the company has to be understood, has to be communicated with the objective of R. So definitely who are making and who are taking the decision, they are the individual who are the leader. They they relies on the top and they lies on the top level of the management. The environmental inputs, that is what they make the analysis of the market, they make the analysis of the financial capabilities, and they get the data from the environmental inputs and they create the strategy, they lead the entire proceedings, they have the culture, they create the vision, mission and the policy, or we can say the ethical policy. Then they communicate the same to the individual who are executives and who are trying to make the executions to be happen in a way that whatsoever the leader has decided, and accordingly they communicate the same to the individual who are performing the task, who are implementing the task, and that's how the organizational intelligence can be developed, the organizational intelligence can be cultivated within the firm. And that is what, these are the three steps through which we can manage the inputs, or we can say the innovation within the firm. Let me give you one more example. If I want to be, and if I want to deal with the competition which is going on within the company, so how this theory will help me? So if I will have a wonderful strategy, if I will have a wonderful orientation or objective, then definitely I can identify on what particular direction, which particular direction I want to go. So once the direction is created, once the direction is fixed, then definitely how and what sort of a competencies to be required to deal with the competition, that can be identified, that can be determined by you. And once the competencies has been identified, you will just create the culture which will help us to understand how to develop ourselves, how to develop our team, how to develop and how to cope up with the change which are happening and which are coming in the future. So that is what the organizational intelligence. So these are the first three steps which help us to organize the capabilities, organize the innovations within within the company, within the firm, and that is what lead to the newness. That is what lead to the new advancement and the development. So the fourth point is creativity and the idea management. Moving towards the development and having the chance of innovation management within the firm, we need to have the more amount of experiments to be happened within the firm. We need to have the creative workforce, and we need to give the chance to the individual who brings and who just work on the creativity to be happening within the firm. See, it is not the thing which we can learn through the different theories, different magazines and the books. The creativity usually comes with the experiments that happens. Creativity usually comes with the open mind, and usually we need to welcome those ideas who are bringing the newness, who are bringing the development for the firm, and accordingly that will definitely help us in future to have the wonderful workforce which will have the wonderful ideas to be implemented. And those different ideas, the new ideas, will help us to progress, to move towards the improvement, towards the new product development in the future. So definitely over the night the creativity cannot be harvested, cannot be inculcated in any of the individual. We need to give the time, we need to give the experiences, we need to give them the training, we need to give them the openness, or we can say the chances to open to the new future, to the new environment. And that's how we can expect that how differently, how wonderfully they can work in the betterment of the company, betterment of the new product development in the company. Then we need to create the favorable organization structure in the system even to welcome the innovation to happen within the firm. The organizational structure in the system has to be very smooth and very helpful to the individual who are working towards bringing the innovation, bringing the creativity within the firm. So the favorable organizational structure is what we need to have the clear instruction and the guidelines, or at the same time each and everyone is working in the synchronization, each and everyone is working like a team, and they are helping one another to solve the problems, to solve the doubts, and to bring the synergy within the work. And that's how the better results and the better management of the organization, better management of the organization structure can be happening. So the favorable conditions, nowadays people have started working on the same event, that how we, without any a structured organizational hierarchy, we can have the organizational structure in which each and everyone is open to talk with each and everyone, and we are not having any boundaries, and we are not having any rules and regulations, or we can say the team structures who are working for the different kind of objectives and the different kind of propagandas. We all are working for the same, we all are working for the one single direction, we all are working in the same synchronized manner, so that we can have more efficiency in the effectiveness of working together. So that is what the organizational structure nowadays, which is adaptable by the many of the companies. CEOs don't have the cabin, CEO don't have the personal cabin and the personal tables. They work with the floor managers, and they work with the floor man who are working together in the same space. And that's how it is what the favorable organizational structure, which also invites creativity, which also invites the innovation to happen within the firm. At the same time, the organizational culture and the climate has to be supportive, it has to be open, it has to be entertaining and motivating for individuals who are trying to get the innovation to happen, who are trying to bring their creativity into the organization. And last but not the least, technological competency has to be developed in each and every individual, so that with the help of technology, with the help of newness which is available, with the help of innovations which are available within the market, we need to make the experiments, and we can make the experiments to be implemented in our company even, so that we can manage the innovation. So these are the seven traits that we have made a discussion about, how we can have the innovation within the firm, how we can manage the innovation within the firm. In next lecture, in coming lecture, we will make a discussion on the second theory, which is helping us to understand how we can manage the innovation within the firm. I am concluding my session, today's session here. Thank you. See you till then.